Hello, hello. Game 2 will be in just a little bit. Top asked for a 5-minute break to go outside. So until then, I'll just be this. I'll come back as soon as the game's ready. Okay, we're loading into game 2 of Fairy Tales versus Doesn't Matter Had WEX. Doesn't Matter Had WEX won game 1. This is my co-caster, Toontamer. Say hello. And I am gtAngel.
Am I still echoing?
Doesn't seem like it.
Should have just told me, man. I'd have fixed it.
I was trying to deal with other stuff at the time. It wasn't a big deal.
I suppose.
Anyway, we've got WEX playing on the Radiant, and Fairy Tale playing on the Dire. Always forget which team is which. But last game, WEX won with a very nice, just beefy team fight comp. Whereas Fairy Tales tried to do a crazy death push with Death Prophet and Shadow Shaman.
They kind of just lost lane, so
yeah,
didn't work out.
Yeah, Fairy Tale just kind of lost every lane. They had an aggro try that didn't work out very well. And so WEX got to win their duo lane, win their off lane, win their mid lane, and have a jungler.
Didn't go well. Was there any heroes you would ban after watching last game then? And none spring to mind for me.
I'm always a fan of banning Razor and Viper, but they're hard to justify bans.
I mean, Void is always going to be strong, same with Lycan and Doom.
Yeah.
And there's already Brew gone, so they're kind of the 4 heroes that I'd get rid of.
Yeah, I think their biggest weakness was just that they didn't have a winning safe lane solo. And they didn't...
Well, no, I think they did. I just think Roran's didn't play as well as he could have. And the Clockwork obviously played better than he should have.
Maybe. I also don't think that their picks had that much synergy. The Centaur wasn't very... didn't have anything to combo with.
I think you can sort of blink Centaur into Mirana Arrow. It's not particularly strong or anything, but it's possible. I think they just approached how they should have played that game. Like, they should have ganked more than they did, and they should have split pushed more than they did, I feel.
But we've already seen some differences now. We have Razor first pick for WEX. They had that here last game. But now Fairy Tales has the Viper, and they got the Tidehunter, which was banned last game. And they have the Dire Tidehunter, which is much better than the Radiant one, because you can stack the Ancients so easily.
It's different situations. It's hard to be zoned out in the
Yeah, I guess Radiant offlane, like, you have the other advantages of that, though.
5 seconds remaining.
But Viper was really annoying for Fairy Tales to deal with last game. So it might be nice that they don't have to deal with that.
But picking Viper into Razor causes its own problems, because Razor classically is a counter to the Viper, especially in lane with the static link. Not necessarily something I would do.
But now we have to see what WEX is going to pick up. They're eating into their reserve time. Skyrath is still in the pool.
I think I would go with Skyrath. It easily handles the Tidehunter.
Yeah, that's almost like that's a big reason to not pick Tidehunter so early sometimes too. Like, Skyrath is just so good at dealing with him.
That's certainly what I would pick here.
They go for the Witch Doctor though.
Radiant team ban.
It makes me think that they want either something like an Enigma to combo with the ult, or they're gonna go for like a really tanky Death Ball and use the heal.
They could be going a few patches back and doing what EG like to do, Trent Witch Doctor. Sort of team fight lineup. I always enjoyed watching that.
Yeah, Trant fell off really hard. He's not very good against Viper either. Because you just ult and all the Trant charges are gone.
The Witch Doctor pick into Tidehunter, because Kraken Shell will remove Maledict, won't it? I mean, largely Witch Doctor's really nice against tanky offlaners because you can Maledict them. Like, especially Bristleback, Maledict is a spell that you want to be leveling.
Reserve time.
I don't know, whenever I think of Witch Doctor, I don't usually think of Maledict. Like, I think he's much better with his heal.
I think
They banned the
what
Enigma.
offlane you're up against.
They banned the Pugna just because they know Fairy Tails likes to death push. But the Enigma, I guess they didn't want Fairy Tails to pick that next and have the Enigma Tide combo. Oh, but Fairy Tails is banning the Shadow Shaman. They're both kind of scared of the push. They banned the Wraith King too. They did this last game. Doesn't seem for any particular reason other than Wraith King's good.
Yes, seems what it seems to me.
Radiant team pick.
Venge tells me they want to gank top.
Yes. There's also a lot of minus armor as well with the gush and the wave, especially useful on Dire.
That is true.
Heroes can easily Roshan at most points in the game.
Yeah, I can't forget about the Dire Roshan. And Venomancer. This really makes me think WEX is gonna go big Death Ball-y, because that's where Venomancer excels. You just press all your buttons.
Especially in a core Venom.
Yeah. I'm gonna guess that he's either off lane or the safe lane farmer. He could be a support, but it's just not very popular.
I don't know if I like
10
Death Ball in
seconds
ties.
remaining.
I know it's currently the meta, but I always find that you'll struggle
5 seconds
trying to push
remaining.
towers up against the tide, unless you really zone him out in lane and he gets absolutely nothing.
Reserve time.
Hmm.
Radiant team.
This is some really powerful early kill potential from the supports. Earthshaker Venge. Really long engage. If they get the correct engage, they can lock you out. And just lots of damage, lots of stun.
The issue is, I've seen plenty of Shaker versus Top in the games that I've played with him, and it never ends well. Top
10
usually gets away from the ganks
seconds
fairly easily. He seems to be used to it.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, plus Shaker can backfire a little bit.
Reserve.
But they also have a really nice teamfight wombo combo with the Tide now.
Yeah.
Tide blinks in and Earthshaker waddles in afterwards.
If the Dire get ahead, it's going to be really hard to push into.
Dire team
Templar Assassin. Ops just wants to kill things. I'm assuming that's Top's hero.
So good against the Viper.
Not good against Viper, but it's just such a strong hero, especially for someone that's better,
10 seconds
like Top
remaining.
usually is.
I mean, it could be
5
TA
seconds
safe lane
remaining.
and the Razor in the mid, so they might be trying to
possible.
bait out the Viper to come mid, and then just stick the Razor there.
Reserve time.
Yeah.
That will certainly
Venge
be
Earthshaker does make a strong tri lane too, so they might want to be avoiding the aggro try. Although,
this will be a core Venom.
I'd still think he's off lane.
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, I obviously don't know. Centaur banned out,
5 seconds
so I guess
remaining.
Fairy Tails does not think this is a core Veno.
Reserve
By
time.
the looks of things.
Centaur's a weird ban.
It doesn't really combo particularly well with any of those heroes. And he's poor against the Viper.
And the Tide.
I think Puck could work as an offlaner on the Radiant. He's good against both Venge and Shaker.
I think they're just gonna pick. I think they're just gonna pick like a Dazzle or something.
Dire team pick.
Have we seen
The Weaver ban that makes a lot of
Shakira?
sense.
Is
They don't have.
Shakira still possible?
Yeah.
For the Radiant.
But it's Dire's pick. They have to decide what to do. Weaver would have been really nice here, so it's really nice for and WEX that they banned that.
10 seconds.
Because they have Witch Doctor Cask. That is the only form of CC that WEX has.
I think Ember and Storm in a similar vein could be quite strong.
Reserve time.
Ember more so, I'd say. Better up against the TA.
No, they just go Luna.
Radiant team pick.
Okay.
Although-
Something like a pretty standard safe lane. with
Yeah, they're just gonna send Viper mid and Luna
entire
to go
offlane.
safe. And I think they picked the Luna especially because Luna's ranged and a little bit more self-sufficient.
So that the supports can roam.
Yeah. Because that's a support duo that really wants to roam. Although they could go aggro with that.
If you leave though, Veno will have problems. I mean, Veno won't have problems. Like Luna,
Yeah.
Veno's pretty strong in lane. And
It's
will
also a
require-
good aggro try though, because Luna gives so much damage and the nuke potential is big.
10 seconds remaining.
I've just got a message from Fishbot saying they banned the Weaver.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, so they clearly wanted that hero.
I'm not surprised, it would have been perfect. Oh!
Dire team
Venomancer support.
Yeah, turns out it is.
But now I'm really interested in seeing which teams go aggro and which teams go safe.
I think you might just see two safe tri lanes here. Oh no, Korean's on the Razor. It is Templar mid. So Top obviously confident in his abilities, laning a TA up against a Viper.
TA versus Viper isn't actually completely unwinnable. It's actually more dependent on the supports, I think. Like, you fall behind, but it's really...
just wins that matchup.
It's... You fall behind, but you don't get super shut out. Like, you can still last hit. And it's not like he can really go on you that well, because you still fight really well. Like, he comes up to your high ground to fight you, and you just meld strike him.
So do you think either team will want to aggro here? Because Bristle back up against
Oh, I can click stuff.
a fairly even match. Oh dear, we have a 3-minute pause. Oh, have we changed players? It looks like we've changed players on Top's team. Ah no, he just hasn't picked yet.
I just heard that we only got one caster audio, so I'm gonna see what that is.
Oh dear.
Surprised, it would have been perfect. I don't think I'm bidding you. I don't know what it is.
Do you want to try undeafening yourself in the mumble? And I'll try speaking through that, see if that picks it up.
I don't know, I'm just gonna make sure that it's not something else.
Be confident in his abilities.
No, I got you. I think it was just a temporary thing. I think it was just temporary. Because I just heard you when I turned it on and I could hear myself through it.
Sometimes the pick stage just has some issues.
Yeah, I know, I can't push to talk during picks. Testing's not testing. There's a slight echo. Just very slight.
Okay, hang on. How's that? Back up against...
Oh, I can click stuff. Test. Seems good. Okay. Okay, apparently my volume was too high.
Oh, have we changed players? It looks like we've changed players on top. Okay. Ah no, he just hasn't picked yet.
Which player is that?
So,
RVSV? Still needs to pick up his Venomancer.
so it's going to be Roaring on the offline this time by the looks of things. He played the carry last time, Nature's Prophet. Was it Aztec up mid against the It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was Aztec mid last game against Top, which I think is going to be the same matchup. So I think it's going to be TA versus Viper. So we'll get to see who wins that. I'd hope.
I mean, Viper normally wins the lane, but like I said, it's not overwhelming to the point of being unplayable.
So it's looking like two safe tri lanes.
The Venomancer's walking up. The Witch Doctor's walking up.
Or not. I mean, this does make sense because Razor has a nice matchup against the Tide. It's
Yeah.
certainly one of the heroes that can deal with him.
And Bristleback is just such a pain. And if you just give him other people, then more of a pain.
I feel, though, this could backfire. If the Earthshaker plays it really nicely, and Fishbot shown last game that he, with his 0 deaths, and I know he plays a lot of the support heroes, so he certainly could have the potential to do this. If you see some good fishes separating the tri-lane, you might see some early kills.
Oh, they're all walking in.
Fairy Tail's not positioned as well as they could if the Radiant wrap around, which it doesn't look like they're going to. Not an Observer Ward I'm a fan of, really. That one.
The Radiant one or the Dire one?
Battle
Yeah.
begins.
They don't have any sentry wards on. I feel they'd just be better off. And I don't think this ward bottom either helps the Radiant.
Well, I think Tide really expected the safe try, and so he wanted the safety ward.
Yeah, but the diet. I mean, it makes sense for the diet, but the Radiant safe ward,
Oh.
I'm really not liking. Like I think that's entirely useless. It gives no sight of anything useful.
The one nice thing is, even if this aggro try doesn't go that well, it gives a safe lane to top and mid. And he's already off to the races with 1 deny.
Oh, I suppose I should get last hits and denies up.
And Tide has already abandoned his lane to go stack these ancients.
Wow, that was quick.
He was like, nope, it's a Razor, fuck that.
I'm not sure that's the right choice.
Yeah, especially
That's
since
gonna go now.
he's gonna be a couple ways behind.
Yeah, Diet not actually finding that Observer Ward there for the Radiant.
Yeah. They only used 1 sentry though. If they know how to place the other one.
I think they didn't place it ideal either, though. Oh, they do find it in the end.
I don't know if that blocks.
I would say I don't actually know, to be honest. I don't think it does. I don't know, but you can just place your sentry ward there, and that's gonna get nearly every spot. It's like one it doesn't get. So it looks like TA's winning mid. So far.
She's just been doing a really good job of splashing onto the Viper. And just abusing her high auto attack damage with Refraction. Got her bottle now too. And no one picked up the 1-minute rune. The 0-minute rune. That invis has just been there.
Tide yet to hit the CS board. It's not going
He's
well for him bottom.
3 levels behind.
That's not good.
Invis Templar. This could actually be really bad for the Viper.
I don't see him getting the kill. He doesn't have a level of Melt Strike. Unless he waits till he does.
Aw. He could have just waited for that 1 creep to die, and I think he would have had it.
For the temple.
I'm surprised he didn't actually do that, to be honest. Oh well.
I'll trust his judgment. Oh, this could be big.
Oh. Yeah.
Bristle going really way out, but they don't have a good position for the Earthshaker.
That's a very nice Fisher. Very nice
Yeah.
indeed. Should be first blood.
First blood.
Yep. Bristleback doesn't have any points in Bristleback yet, so he's not that tanky.
Oh, he went for goo. Level 1, level 2 even.
Super greedy.
Very good indeed. Although level 1 Bristleback's kind of crap anyway. It's not particularly good.
I mean, it is 16%. Not nothing.
Well, Aztec's definitely doing better than he was last game mid. So the
Yeah.
matchup's definitely showing a little bit.
Like, he's losing the denies a lot,
Denies on top though.
but he's kept close in CS.
Well, it's kind of expected to be on a Viper. You know, the Nether Toxin
Yeah.
helps you last hit.
Like,
not so much with the denies.
He's not winning the lane, but He's not getting stomped yet. And like, it's important to stress that top is like 6k.
Yeah.
I don't know how good Aztec is, but I think
I'm
6k
not
is
100%,
the top.
But I think
Although-
4.5-ish. Oh, this could be a kill. Oh,
Oh, that refraction bait.
could get him anyway.
Yeah, but top gets the experience. He baited with the refraction. Just,
I think the Viper moved closer than he had to. He sort of walked in too close. If he had stayed at a range and done that, I certainly think he could have got the kill without dying.
quite possible. Up top we saw Bristleback dying again as he went in. Also, this Witch Doctor went for level 2 Maledict, which
Yep.
I don't really like.
No, I don't think it works in this lane either. Okay. I think they need to give up on this top lane now.
Yeah, I missed that kill. It happened so fast.
There's just too many levels on the enemy heroes. I think the support should go bottom. I mean, well, saying that, the Tide's not really getting anything anyway, is he? Maybe the support should just roam mid and help the TA out. I mean, she's winning a lane, but she could be winning it harder, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
Look bottom, you might see a kill. No.
No, he didn't have mana, and it was his plasma field was on cooldown.
I think at this point I would try something different with the supports from top lane. I think I'd maybe go mid or jungle with the Venomancer. I'm not sure what I'd do, but I don't think I'd do this anymore. I see a potential for this going horribly wrong.
Although at the same time, Venomancer is level 4 now,
Oh,
which means his wards are useful.
Oh, and Viper going down mid.
Man, I missed that second kill, and I pretty much missed the first one. Tide just stuck around, I think,
Yeah, when he shouldn't have.
and TADD
See,
does disgusting
once the
things.
Razor's got phase boots, it becomes incredibly hard for the Tide.
Something
I
might.
don't think Roran's playing this as well as he could be either.
Witch Doctor was in a really dangerous spot, but Earthsaker wasn't there. Oh, Razor gets to come down with a regen rune.
Is under attack.
That's a lot of Ancients, though. That's a quad stack.
Time is running out for Dire's middle
Yeah.
tower.
4 sets.
But what I was going to say about top lane is, with level 4 on Venomancer, they're definitely getting a point where they might be able to hit critical mass. Like, you get to put down all the wards, which were useless at levels 1, 2, and 3.
But there's 3 points up in the Lunar stun. And then, ideal. I feel the Earthshaker should be going for 2 in Q. I don't think 1-1-1 makes sense.
I agree with that. He can't rely. Oh, Luna's in a little bit of trouble. Venge can stun one. It's gonna keep bouncing. I think they still got. Yeah, they still got the Luna. They might be able to pick up another. Ah, no. They didn't switch to the Earthshaker. They were kind of out of spells.
I think that's an unnecessary death on the Luna.
And TA gets another kill on the Viper in mid. She got her phase boots and
Wow.
just ran at him. On panic traps.
This certainly does happen with mid players. Snowball now.
Yeah, she has a 3-level advantage too. All those denies and the zoning.
I mean, it's
Like, to
certainly
put this in
potential for
perspective, the Viper has to TP back at his tier 2 tower. She might kill this Tide.
Dire's top tower is
He has that trap there.
Oh. There goes the Tide.
Kills everywhere. You get a double kill up top. You don't even have to use the Eclipse. Clean it loose.
I suppose one thing I didn't consider was by keeping the aggressive tri lane, it means that the supports from Fairy Tales can't roam and then give top a hard time to stop him winning mid.
Yeah. You give the 6k player a TA mid that's completely unaided by support.
Yeah.
This Tide is having such a sad time. He can still get to his Ancients, but it's so slowed down because of that death. And he has to be so paranoid now.
Because they know he's done it. Oh, actually, someone giving him a wood. Looks like mid tower's going down.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Fairy Tail's actually winning on kills, surprisingly.
This could be.
Could be big.
They don't have any detection. Oh my god.
That looks painful. That's got to be top going down.
They have no. Oh, they got the detection. I didn't see who had that.
I think Korean's gonna get a follow up.
Viper's like,
Juking with the pit.
He got it though.
They're gonna get the kill as well. That was so good.
In and out, and then the Roshan was there to make it even harder to figure out what was going on.
I really like that.
Earthstaker's back top. He already has his arcane boots.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
But Bristleback looks like he wants to dive, but he knows it's a bad idea. Because he's
already
half the level of this Luna.
Well, he's only 4. Wow. It has not gone well for him. I don't understand this Earthshaker build.
Oh, Satania's
Sure,
dead.
What could enlighten me?
Echo Slam's pretty good. It hits everyone, but top blocks it all with his refraction.
And they
And gets some
couldn't
kills.
get the power deny there either, which I think they could have.
Top might get this Viper. No. Leaving, he doesn't want to die to the Earthshaker.
I mean, WEX lose a lot of heroes for that tower kill. I feel if the Fishbot denied there, the tower, that would have been an excellent trade for Fairy Tail's team. 3 kills and the tower deny.
I can agree with that. They managed to not really lose anyone else. Surprising. But they're really losing bottom lane though. It's 62 CS to 15. With 27 denies on the Razor. Like, that's including the Ancients. I'm pretty sure. Tide has just not gotten anything. He doesn't even have arcane boots. The ports have more money than him.
Well, they are going for a gank though on Korean.
They're gonna get it.
Okay.
They smoke in vision.
A poor smoke, to say the least.
Viper looks like he's just gonna start auto-attacking. Break the smoke. He's like, this is okay because it's worthless anyway.
I think I see the logic behind the W levels now on the Earthshaker. So I think because the Venge has gone Medallion, the Earthshaker's leveling the W for the physical damage. So that they can blow up heroes more easily.
Oh, this is...
Oh. Fisher missed.
Pop's super dead.
Straight up dead for that.
Got the 1 kill. They did have to blow a sentry on him. But they gave the kill to Viper, which is pretty huge. This also gives them some space to go Roche.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna be able to, because bottom lane is so pushed in and struggling. But it's nice. Korean's in some trouble. Gonna kill the Venge. He got the mech. I didn't realize he had that. They can chase down this Viper now.
TP support from the tier 1. Earthshake moving to position to Fisher. If it's good, it could save him.
That's good. And Luna's coming down, although she's just gonna farm the jungle.
I feel if Daya keep going this way, despite the last hit lead on WEX, this could be 10-2. A very even match.
I agree. They have the tools to keep top shut down. But they do have to contend with the crazy Viper. Like, the Bristleback's really underfarmed. Sorry.
I feel it depends on how much they respect the Tide and the Earthshaker on top's team. If they try to push into towers in like a stacked manner, they could end up losing some pretty big fights.
Tide has farmed a lot of gold in a little bit of time. think it's mainly just from being near kills, but I could be wrong. But he could get his arcane boots, or he could just rush the blink dagger.
Which I think he is doing. I mean, his build's not too bad for rushing the blink. He hasn't gone for any levels in Gush, so he doesn't really need the mana boots.
Yeah, like, the mana boots are still really nice, but I think he really does need the blink. Luna's in a little bit of trouble. Although, it's quite a turnaround. But the death ward is pretty huge. That's a kill on the Viper. And top is going to keep going. He has his blink dagger now. That swap was ineffective.
To say the least, yeah. Oh,
Top might get this other kill too. He has the blink.
he's got a blink. He's certainly... he didn't go for it.
He didn't hit her with the slow. I think that's what he was going to look for.
I feel... It's unfortunate that they wasted the Echo Slam there, because Tide's got his blink now. So they could actually take the fight if that was up. And do pretty well.
Sometimes I find myself saying, for no reason at all, Dire's middle tower has fallen. Oh, wait, there's a good reason to say it this time.
Again, I think that one of the key differences is that Top's team has a mech, and Fishbot's doesn't. It was the same with the last game. They were taking these 5v5 fights, and Top's team would always have a mech, and Fishbot's team just wouldn't.
Yeah, and now they get the Roshan. I think Fairy Tails is going to try to defend this, but it's really tough. Although...
Well, they do have Blink Tide.
Yeah, I thought they were actually taking the Roche faster than they were. But now that they've backed off, and Fairy Tails has had a chance to position, they do have the Blink Tide.
Oh. Watch for Top's wraparound here. He hasn't gone for it.
This is a messy fight. Ah, the Death Ward gets cancelled, the Eclipse is popped. And that's really good. They get the Venomancer ult, but it's not enough. Like, that's all the damage they have. You have to see whether Top can do it. Top is trying, but he only gets the one. Peter Castro wasn't there to keep him alive. Now he's just gonna die because he's still around. Top doesn't want to give up the Roche, though. Oh, that could have been huge. He gets the Luna, but it almost splashed and killed the Tide, too. Oh, he might get this Venge. He's gonna go and TP up. He missed the meld. If he had hit that meld, that would be a Venge kill. But they still probably get the Roche because of that. The instant buyback really paid off. Everyone's coming back to this pit. But they don't have Blink, ult, and Tide. Yeah, they just pick it up too fast. T8 does too much damage, especially with her armor reduction. That was really unfortunate for the Witch Doctor in that last fight. He started channeling his ult right as the Ravage came out.
I mean, yeah, I think he should have just waited, really.
Yeah.
You've got
Like,
to wait for the Ravage.
That was a misplay, but it was still really unfortunate.
I thought the Earthshaker had killed them. I thought the Earthshaker had blocked the Luna and, was it the Viper off? And they were just gonna die, but they just seemed to turn around and just kill Tom instead.
Luna does have lifesteal. Viper is tanky, even if he doesn't have his mech complete.
Which I assume he does now. Oh no, not quite still, actually.
They have the Sanj on Bristleback. I don't know if they might just go Heaven's Halberd on him. Or they might just use the Sanj as a stepping stone.
I quite like Sanjin Yashi myself on Bristleback.
Guess they could do that.
Which this Bristle isn't necessarily.
His
really,
team
really
is.
nice.
I think. Yeah, Radiant's ahead about 5,000 gold and 3,000 experience.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
But the Bristle's only level 8.
Yeah.
I think he's the lowest level in the team, maybe? I don't know.
No, that would be the Venomancer, who was level 6.
Yeah.
They really sacked that aggro try, but it kept the supports busy.
I think it did what it's meant to do. Korean one is lane really, really hard, and top one is lane really hard.
Yeah, they sacked one lane to give 2 lanes free access to a 1v1.
It's certainly something we did a lot last season. We would just aggro try to lock down the enemy tri lane.
Although I want to point out, the Luna has the second highest net worth in the game. Oh, hold on, there's a fight. They get the Echo Slam off. That swap was a little questionable.
And a nice Witch Doctor ult.
Yeah, but the title comes back and is really huge. They have to be careful about this TA though. Oh, this is so cool.
Could he get it?
Oh, he's not gonna die. But it's so cool.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I think the issue there was the fissure blocked the Luna from getting into the fight, and subsequently the Lunar Eclipse was really poor. It just hit the hard camp.
They still did well in the fight though. The Ravage really came through.
It could have been a lot stronger. It could have been a lot stronger.
Yeah. The swap was, I think, a little premature.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. If you were Dire's bottom tower, you would have fallen just now.
And a big problem here is there's a fight, but it's always there's a fight and then WEX survives with enough health and tankiness to go do something.
Yeah.
Like they clash and back off, and then WEX takes the tower while Fairy Tails just kind of regroups. Fairy Tails can only fight with their ults, whereas WEX fights with their like low cooldown abilities.
I mean, like, Fairy Tails need to be winning these fights, like, straight up. They need to just be,
Ooh,
like, just killing everybody.
invisible TA.
I think they know, though. I'm fairly sure I saw Fairy Tails pinging.
Top's not even gonna risk it. Bristleback's just heading top. It's looking more likely to be a Heaven's Halberd, given that he hasn't bought anything with 1500 gold.
I think so. I mean, Heaven Halberd is very nice against the Viper. It's
And the Luna.
one we picked up.
Especially because the Luna's going
The
lifesteal.
Luna's got BKB now.
If I remember correctly, you can get Sarmed and it stays if you BKB.
I don't think so. I think it dispels it. I might be wrong, but I'm fairly sure it dispels it.
Check it real quick.
Clearly not.
It can't be purged. It can't be purged.
It is a Heavens, by the way. The Bristleback has got the Evasion Talisman now.
It's pretty nice. It's just a really efficient item. Less so than the Sanj alone, but it's still pretty good. And the active is still worth it.
Meanwhile, you've got Ags up on Razor, and what does Top have in Courier? A BKB himself.
BKB is going to be huge. You have
Yeah.
Eclipse, you have Lucent Beam, you have
mean-
Ravage, you have
I
Stun.
mean, Top's currently just going down to the Echo Slam plus Ravage plus Viper ult.
Yeah.
Really.
But like if you BKB, they have Viper attacks and Luna attacks. And those are really easy to deal with.
I think if I was the Lunar, I would have skipped BKB this game. I know there's a Venomancer, and it's always nice to get a... It's always nice to have a BKB against the Venomancer, but the rest of the damage is just physical, really. You got a TA, a Bristleback, a Witch Doctor still is physical, and the Razor. And I think they need more physical damage, otherwise they can't deal with the TA, who they find now, who blinks out.
Yeah, I want to mention the Blink pickup on TA. It used to be really popular, but it's fallen off a lot as people move towards like more stat heavy TA builds.
I think...
And it's kind of interesting.
Blink's...
It definitely shows like
strong.
Top thinks he's gonna get a bunch of kills and just needs the ability to get there.
It's to snowball more, isn't it? It's
Mhm.
not... Like, the stat heavy TAs are for more of a carry sort of play, but Top doesn't want to farm, he just wants to fight and kill the enemy.
Venomancer's working his way towards an Ag Scepter. He's 700 gold away. It looks like Razor's working on his own BKB. Tide has his arcane boots, just 1,000 gold. Ben just has her
Would you
medallion.
go straight refresher on the Tide? Or would you go something else? The issue with going refresher on the Tide is it's exactly what you point out, they're still completely reliant on cooldowns, aren't they?
I'm not a huge fan of refresher after Blink Arcanes in the first place. I generally like having something like
Or Shiva's?
Shiva's. Like Shiva's I think would be ideal, but it's a question of whether he can farm it. Top showing us what it really takes to go pro. You just always get good runes.
I mean, that's how he's done it.
That's all this game was, Top getting good runes. Looks like Fairy Tails wants to smoke. They realize that they're just getting strangled. They want to do something about it.
The issue is that they're pushing the lanes are getting pushed so heavily by the Radiant, it's really obvious when they do.
Yeah, if you back up and no one defends. If no one defends, it's like...
Yeah.
If no one defends, it's like, oh man, they're not defending. I wonder where they are. Like, well, they're not in their base. They're not in the lanes. Not in the jungle.
Let's see if the Radiant ping anything out here. Otherwise,
They might get the
could
Razor.
go down.
Oh, they picked the wrong
They go the
direction.
wrong way. Although if they walked up the hill, the Razor would probably just walk away. They're going to converge on him now.
They might get him.
Be a kill. Good fisher here. It's not particularly good.
That fissure was really bad.
That's a weak fisher.
They use the Ravage, and they do get the TA. She's in some trouble. But the BKB turns on, and they just don't have anything that hurts her.
I think this is why they needed like a Manta style or on the Luna or something. Something that can hurt TA through a BKB.
Yeah, but now her BKB's over.
In the fight anyway.
Although she might just be able to kill this.
Is the stun? Throw the stun feeder?
On Top's in a little bit of trouble. He's out of position.
No sentry wards though.
But just really bad positioning there. Luna's gonna die anyway, so Top doesn't have to deal with her.
He wants this.
That's such a greedy play. Doesn't even attack first, he just immediately melds without vision.
Bottom tower is under attack.
But Viper doesn't have a TP. Viper has to walk out and he walks into the bristleback.
Just disarm him here. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you might be able to fight a bristle, but you can't fight a TA.
No, I think the bristle would have killed him anyway.
Probably. They're probably gonna lose Roshan for that though. Like they don't have any ults now. They can't possibly fight this.
It's what you were saying before, that they used all their ults and they didn't really get that convincing of a win.
Yeah. It's like even though TA was really low and a lot of people died for WEX, they respawn. TA gets a rune, and they just take Rosh.
Has fallen to the Radiant.
It really does show like the weaknesses of heroes like Earthshaker and Tidehunter. You really have to be able to use their ults, and you can't just come out even if the enemy has shorter cooldowns.
That was good of you.
It picks up an illusion and an invis.
I don't know why.
I'm talking about the early one.
Great rain.
The illusion was down here.
The direst elements are pelting Radiant's bottom tower.
Dire gets to farm their own jungle, but only because they're a 5-man blob there. It's always kind of sad when you see that. Venomancer still gets the centaur. They're chasing him though. They might get him.
Veno's gonna go down. Top's coming in to reinforce though. We did his invis rune. does do a lot of damage.
He's gonna live unless top goes in. That's not that crazy. And just lucky she had a mech. Razor.
Oh, okay.
Flash damage.
The only mystery is how you lasted so long.
Actually didn't catch most of that.
Radiant's top
I
tower
didn't catch
is
any of it.
under attack.
I like moused over as
Dire's bottom
I
tower
got
is
splash
under
damage to
attack.
death.
Radiant must summon the spirit to defend their top tower.
Did Razor just...
The Dire just can't resist attacking.
Okay, I thought he sold his
top tower.
hammer and I was confused. No, he probably just sold like a wand or something. Razor has his BKB. I guess what I'm saying.
But there's a blink on Earthshaker now. So they can definitely follow up like tied with Echo Slam with Lunar Ult and get a lot of damage off before BKBs pop.
You really have to do the Earthshaker ult first though, because otherwise you have the ability to react.
Okay. Ags upon the Witch Doctor and the Veno. Oh no, Bristleback is building a hood.
Oh, and top just goes in. They get the BKBs off on both heroes.
Yeah. That's a bad
Witch
fight.
Doctor
I
gets
think
to
that's
ult.
it.
It's not that amazing of an ult, but it does just bounce and kill the Avenge. And it doesn't need to be amazing.
I think this is one Rax, at least.
I think this is GG.
Time is running out for Dire's middle tower. Dire's structures
Like, there's nothing to stop them
against
still.
all comers.
They can just go to the next lane.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
Yep, that's
Yeah,
cool.
they're not even gonna wait, they just call it. And I think that's fair.
Paving the way for future disaster, Dire's middle barracks.
You have an MVP for this game?
Gotta be top.
I think it's gotta go to top. I don't think there's any other choice. The Razor did nicely in lane though, I suppose. He did completely destroy the tide.
Yeah, like, definitely the
That's
keys
good.
to WEX were the Razor and the Templar. Korean and top were the keys, because they invested a lot to make sure those two heroes had uncontested lanes.
I mean, look at that scoreboard. 19-0-1-2-4. It's just insane.
I mean, Luna was also big, but the problem was more they didn't have enough farm on the heroes that mattered. They needed a way to kill TA, and Earthshaker had some gold, but he's not going to do it. Hyde had some gold, but he's not going to do it. Viper didn't have that much gold. And Luna had gold, but she wasn't enough.
I think it came down to the laning again. I think the Tide lost the lane too hard. I think the Viper... I mean, I know it's hard not to against top, but he lost the lane when he probably shouldn't have necessarily.
I think a lot of I think part of what it was is Fairy Tales had the one lane they were winning, but they didn't stomp it and go out of control. Whereas both of their other lanes were getting stomped and losing
I
control.
mean, they sort of half won it. I mean, the Luna didn't, like... Despite the fact they got kills, Luna didn't particularly get any farm, and Luna did die in the lane as well. Like, they won it, but they didn't necessarily win it how they would have liked to. I suppose we should go make some in-houses.
Suppose we should.
Hey.
I've been gtAngel, Toontamer, for watching. Doesn't matter, head WEX versus Fairy Tales. Week 5 of the RD2L. Thanks for watching.